Friday Arvo started like any other. Kids were finally sorted, school bags dumped by the door, and I ducked out to Coles to grab a few things for dinner. Nothing fancy, sausages, bread, milk, the usual. I was already knackered, thinking about how tight money had been lately and how I'd been stretching every dollar to make it all work. My husband had gone out earlier, said he was just meeting the boys for one. I didn't love it, but I didn't kick up a fuss either. I get to the checkout, load everything onto the belt, smile at the cashier, and tap my card. Beep. Declined. I laugh awkwardly and say, "Oh, that's weird, try again." Beep. Declined. Now people are shifting behind me, the cashier's giving me that look, and my cheeks are burning. I know exactly how much is in that account because I check it obsessively. There's no way it should be declined. I step aside, pretending I've forgotten my wallet in the car, and pull out my phone. My hands are shaking as I open the banking app. At first glance, my heart drops straight into my gut. The balance is way lower than it should be. Not just a little bit, hundreds gone. I scroll down and there it is. Pub charges. Big ones. Multiple. Bottle O. Late night takeaway. All from places I haven't stepped foot in for months. That's when it hits me. He's got my card. I sit there in the car park, staring at the screen, anger building with every breath. This wasn't an accident. This wasn't a mix-up. He'd deliberately swapped our bank cards so he could go out, show off, and spend my money like it was his own. The money I'd been saving. The money I'd budgeted for groceries, school stuff, petrol. While I was standing there getting declined like I couldn't manage my own life. I replay the morning in my head. Him being overly helpful, offering to grab my bag, giving me a quick kiss goodbye. It all makes sense now. I feel stupid for trusting him, but mostly I feel furious. Not just because of the money, but because of the disrespect. Like my hard work meant nothing. Like I was just there to keep things running while he played the big man with his mates. I think about all the times I've skipped buying myself things, all the times I've said no to lunches out or new clothes. And here he is, shouting rounds and living it up on my card without a second thought. My chest feels tight, and for a moment I consider calling him and tearing strips off him right there. But something stops me. I take a breath and look again at the transactions. He's still out, still spending, still thinking he's clever, and that's when the humiliation I felt at the checkout turns into something else. A cold, steady determination. If he wants to use my money like that, then he's about to learn exactly what that behavior costs. I cancel the groceries and drive home, mind racing. The kids are at the table doing homework, the house quiet, completely unaware of what's just happened. I sit down, log into my banking properly, and double-check everything. Same card number, same account, no doubt about it. He's done this on purpose. I don't cry, I don't scream, I don't throw anything. I just feel this deep sense of betrayal settling in. Marriage is meant to be a team, especially with money. And he's just shown me he's happy to cross a line if it suits him. As the sun goes down, I keep checking the app. Another pub charge comes through. Then another. Each one just fuels the fire. By the time he stumbles home late, I'm calm on the outside, but inside I've already decided, this isn't going to slide. He thinks he's gotten away with it, but he's wrong. He's made me look foolish in public. Now it's my turn to make sure he understands exactly what that feels like. By the time he rolled in after midnight, smelling like beer and bad decisions, I was already in control of myself, which honestly scared me more than being angry. He dropped his keys on the bench, kicked his shoes off, and gave me that sloppy grin like nothing in the world was wrong. I pretended to be half asleep, phone face down beside me, heart thumping but head clear. The moment he snored, I got up. I went into the laundry, shut the door quietly, and opened my banking app again. More charges had landed since the car park. Bigger ones. He wasn't just having a few quiet drinks, he was putting on a performance. Shouting rounds, tapping my card like he'd earned it. I imagined him puffing his chest out, mates cheering, none of them knowing whose money it really was. That's when the sadness hit. Not loud, dramatic sadness, just this dull ache behind the ribs. I'd trusted him. We'd had conversations about money, about tightening things up, about being a team. And here he was, treating my account like his personal ATM while I was counting coins for groceries. I sat on the washing machine and thought about calling my sister. Thought about waking him up and screaming. Thought about canceling the card immediately and letting him deal with the fallout on his own. But none of that felt right. Too easy, too quick. He'd just twisted into a misunderstanding, and oops, a laugh-it-off moment. No, he needed to feel it. So I did something I'd never done before. I opened a brand new account in my name only. No joint access, no shared logins, just mine. Then, slowly, carefully, I transferred every single cent out of that account. Savings, buffer money, even the tiny bit I'd been putting aside for Christmas. I watched the balance drop to zero, my hands steady, my breathing even. When it was done, I stared at the screen for a long time. The card in his wallet, my card, was now nothing but a useless piece of plastic. And he had no idea. I didn't block it. I didn't freeze it. I wanted it active. I wanted it to work just enough to get him confident. To let him keep thinking he was untouchable. The humiliation would be worse if it came when he least expected it. The next morning, he woke up dusty and slow, complaining about his head. I made him a coffee. Didn't say a word. He checked his phone, smirked at something, probably messages from the boys about what a mad night it was. Not once did he mention the card. Not once did he apologize. That told me everything I needed to know. Over breakfast, he casually mentioned his mate's birthday at the RSL that night. Big thing, lots of people. You coming? He asked, like nothing had happened. I nodded. Yeah, sounds good. Inside, my pulse kicked up, but I kept my face neutral. Calm, pleasant. I even offered to drive. All day, I played the role. Did the washing, helped the kids with homework. Smiled when he walked past. Meanwhile, every part of me was replaying that checkout moment. The beeping machine, the looks, the embarrassment. I wasn't doing this out of spite, I was doing it because he'd crossed a line and needed to understand the weight of it. By late Arvo, I checked the account one more time. Still empty. No accidental transfers back. No mistakes. Perfect. I thought about backing out. About pulling him aside privately and laying it all out. But then I remembered the way he'd strutted out the door the day before, confident I wouldn't notice. Confident I'd clean up the mess quietly like I always did. This time, I wasn't cleaning anything up. As we got ready to leave, he patted his pocket where the card was, completely relaxed. He had no idea that every dollar he thought he had access to was gone. And as we drove toward the RSL, headlights cutting through the dusk, I realized something surprising. I wasn't nervous anymore. I was ready. The RSL car park was already packed when we pulled in, headlights flashing across rows of utes and SUVs. You could hear the noise before you even opened the door, laughter, music, that familiar mix of voices echoing out into the night air. This wasn't a quiet dinner. This was one of those nights. Big birthday, big crowd, everyone turning up. As we walked in, I could feel my husband's energy lift. He straightened his shoulders, smiled wider, nodded at people he knew. Slapped backs, shook hands. The bloke who'd been groaning about his hangover that morning was suddenly alive again. I stayed close, calm, observant, taking it all in. Inside, the place was heaving. Long tables pushed together, kids running around with lemonade, older relatives already deep into their wines. His mates were loud near the bar, already half-cut, yelling his name when they spotted him. Oi, legend, someone shouted. He grinned like he'd earned it. He leaned over to me. I'll grab the first round. There it was. He didn't even ask, just assumed. I nodded, pretending to be distracted by spotting someone across the room. He headed straight for the bar, confident, weaving between people like he owned the place. I followed a bit slower and took a seat where I had a clear view. Close enough to hear, far enough not to look involved. My heart was pounding now, but my face stayed neutral. I folded my hands in my lap and waited. At the bar, he went big. Real big. Drinks for his mates, their partners, a couple of extras just in case. He was laughing, joking with the bartender, making a show of it. I could see his card between his fingers, my card, held out like a trophy. Put it all on this, mate, he said loudly. The bartender tapped the amounts in, slid the machine over. Beep. Declined. For half a second, no one reacted. My husband frowned, confused more than embarrassed. He chuckled. Nah, that's not right. Try again. The bartender tried again. Beep. Declined. This time, the noise around them dipped just a little. One of his mates raised an eyebrow. Someone laughed awkwardly. My husband's smile tightened. Must be the machine, he said, louder than necessary. Happens all the time. The bartender swapped machines. Beep. Declined. Now the silence was real. Conversations nearby paused. A couple of heads turned. The bartender looked at the screen, then back at him, expression flat. Sorry, mate, it's not going through. My husband's ears started to go red. I watched it happen, that slow creep of color up his neck. He pulled the card back, wiped it on his jeans, tried again like force might help. Declined. Someone behind him muttered, awkward. His mum, seated nearby, leaned forward. Everything okay, love? He laughed too loudly. Yeah, just a glitch. But the confidence was gone now. His shoulders dropped. His mates stopped joking. The drinks sat there unpaid, an uncomfortable line of glasses waiting for someone to claim them. That's when I stood up. I walked over calmly, placed my handbag on the bar, and smiled at the bartender. Then I looked at my husband. Oh, I said lightly, like I'd just realized something small, that card won't work anymore. He turned to me, eyes wide. What? I kept my voice steady. Well, it is my card. The one you swapped yesterday so you could go out partying on my money. You could have heard a pin drop. His mates stared. One of them let out a low whistle. His mum's mouth actually fell open. The bartender froze mid-wipe. I moved the money, I continued, still calm. After it got declined at Coles. Remember, while you were at the pub. The color drained from his face so fast it was almost impressive. He opened his mouth, closed it again. No joke, no explanation, nothing. Someone at the table coughed. Another mate looked down at his shoes. His sister frowned, clearly putting the pieces together. The bartender quietly pushed the drinks back. Well, I said, picking up my bag, guess you'll need another card. I turned and walked back to my seat, legs steady, heart racing but controlled. Behind me, the noise slowly returned. Whispers, murmurs, the low hum of people reacting to something they weren't supposed to see. A moment later, his mate paid for the drinks. No cheering. No jokes. Just a quiet tap of a different card. My husband didn't come back to the table straight away. And for the first time all weekend, I felt the balance shift. He didn't sit back down for a long time. I could see him standing off near the pokey room, shoulders slumped, staring at his phone like it might magically fix things. People kept glancing over at him, then back at me, then quickly looking away. That kind of silence, the heavy, uncomfortable kind, followed him everywhere he went that night. When he finally returned to the table, he didn't meet my eyes. He muttered something about not feeling well and sat beside me like a stranger. His mates were suddenly very interested in their drinks. No one asked him to shout another round. No one called him a legend anymore. The loud, confident bloke from earlier was gone, replaced by someone small and exposed. His mum leaned across the table toward me. Not angry, disappointed. That was worse. Is that true? She asked quietly. I nodded. Every word. She sighed, shook her head, and leaned back without another comment. That single gesture did more damage than any yelling ever could. I saw him notice it too. His jaw tightened, eyes fixed on the table. We stayed another half hour out of politeness. I chatted to his aunt about the kids' school, laughed at a cousin's story, completely calm on the outside. Inside, though, something had shifted. I wasn't angry anymore. I wasn't even hurt in the same way. I was clear. When we finally left, the drive home was dead silent. No radio, no small talk, just the sound of tires on the road and his shame sitting thick between us. He tried once. You didn't have to do that, he muttered. I kept my eyes on the road. You didn't have to steal my card. That shut him up. At home, he lingered in the kitchen like he wanted to explain himself, but I wasn't interested. I went straight to bed. For the first time in years, I slept deeply, not because things were fixed, but because I'd finally stopped carrying everything alone. The next morning, he was up early, making coffee. He looked rough. Not hungover, humbled. He cleared his throat when I walked in. I messed up, he said. No excuses. No jokes. Just that. I nodded. You embarrassed me first. He swallowed hard. I know. We sat at the table, the space between us full of everything unsaid. I laid it out calmly. The budgeting, the sacrifices, the trust he'd broken. I told him how standing at that checkout, being declined, made me feel small and stupid. How watching him spend my money without a second thought changed the way I saw him. He listened, actually listened, and when I told him the money would stay separate until trust was rebuilt, he didn't argue. That mattered. The fallout lasted weeks. His mates teased him, not kindly. Word got around, not in a dramatic way, just enough. The big spender jokes disappeared. He stopped going out so much. When he did, he paid his own way. Always. At home, things changed too. He started checking in before spending. Asking instead of assuming. He even suggested counseling, his idea, not mine. I didn't rush to forgive him. I didn't pretend it hadn't happened. But I noticed the effort. And me, I changed the most. I stopped apologizing for holding boundaries. Stopped softening my words to keep the peace. I realized that standing up for myself didn't make me cruel, it made me equal. That night at the RSL wasn't about revenge. It was about consequences. He thought swapping cards was harmless. A cheeky trick. What he didn't understand was that trust, once broken in public like that, takes real work to rebuild. Months later, the memory still stings, but it also reminds me of something important. I don't need to yell to be heard. I don't need to chase respect. Sometimes, all it takes is letting someone experience exactly what they tried to hide.